Plants vs. Zombies is a pretty nostalgic game for me, and with the recent release of the modern port, PvZ Replanted, I thought this would be a great time to earn its platinum trophy. Throughout this grind, I'd be dealing with a lot of RNG and some very, very heartbreaking moments. No, bro! But let's start at the beginning with adventure mode. Before we continue though, I just wanted to say that this video was recorded from the release patch to the October 29th patch, so any issues you see in this video have most likely been fixed by now. Just wanted to say that since Replanted has been a little controversial. Anyway, we start with the pea shooter, and if you're unaware of how this game works, simply, you just need the plants to kill all of the zombies before they reach your house. Sun will drop over time, which is what you need to be able to place a plant. This first level is a good introduction, but I also instantly noticed something about Replanted. I am noticing that they instantly go to the end of the song. It's not dynamic. They haven't fixed that yet. Yeah, normally the game built up to this intense music, so it sucks that it's always like that. We'll see if it gets fixed later. But anyway, after finishing this level, I unlocked the sunflower. These will drop more sun for me, making them a must-have at all times. I continue to breeze through the levels, unlocking more plants like the cherry bomb and walnut, and on level 5, I met this man. Crazy Dave! What's good? Crazy Dave is the GOAT and the inspiration for my look throughout this video. He tells me to dig some plants up because we're going bowling, let's go. That's quite literally what we do. We use walnuts to bowl over zombies. I'll encounter 4 other minigames like this throughout adventure mode, but after I finish this one, I unlocked a potato mine, which gave me the opportunity for my first trophy. When you place it down, it takes time to arm itself, but once it's armed, you know what happens next. Hey, Spoodow! Blow up a zombie using a potato mine. Nice, first trophy. After I finished this level, I took a look at the settings and found this. What's this? Oh, life half empty. Toggle on the retro zombie skin for the first time. Aren't there trophies for all of them? Life half full. Toggle on the crab head zombie skin. Cool. I heard these can bug out the game though, so I'm not turning those on. After completing some more levels, we eventually reached the 10th one where I got this letter. We're about to launch an all-out attack on your house. Wow. Okay. And they were not wrong about that. Instead of using sun for the plants, the game randomly gives them out on a conveyor belt, allowing me to spam them, which makes these some of the most fun levels in the game. But after I finished it off, it was time to move on to the second stage, the night levels. Here, no sun drops for me, so I had to fully rely on sunflowers, which kinda sucks because they're a little slow. To counteract this, I'm given mushrooms, which are way cheaper than your average plant. And of course, you can mix these with the regular plants, so overall, these weren't much harder. However, the zombies were getting tougher, which leads to the football zombie, who has a lot of health and led to a pretty close call. No! That's annoying. They would do that. I'm broke! I got so distracted by that too. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. Dang it, bruh. I got so distracted by the last moan standing. Defeat the last zombie in a level with the lawnmower. I didn't want to get that trophy just yet, man. It's a good thing we have the lawnmowers as the last line of defense. Otherwise, that would have been really bad. And something similar happened on the next level, so safe to say, I had a lot to learn. But in the end, I made it to the 10th level and also managed to earn this trophy. Blow 'em up. Penny Pincher. Pick up 30 coins in a row on a single level without letting any disappear. Oh, okay. With this level done, it was time for my favorite stage, the pool levels. This adds a 6th row and puts the 3rd and 4th rows in the water, requiring me to use lily pads to place plants there. I also can't use the mushrooms now since they sleep in the day, but I prefer the regular plants anyway. During this, I unlocked the mini games, which I'll need to complete for the trophy Beyond the Grave later. I also unlocked Crazy Dave's shop, where I can buy extra plant slots, plant upgrades, and other items. Eventually, we made it to the end of the pool levels, which ended with the most fun onslaught so far, and also, the note for this one is kind of funny. Hello, we heard you were having a pool party. We think that is fun. We'll be right over. Okay. Our second to last stage is the fog levels. This is a nighttime version of the pool levels, but also with fog coming from the bushes, so it's harder to tell who's coming. To counteract this, I'm given planterns and blowers, who light up the area and blow the fog away. These also have some pretty annoying zombies, like the balloon zombie, who requires certain plants to take care of, otherwise you'll let this happen. Who is that? Oh gosh. literally nothing I could have done. There are also jack-in-the-box zombies, or tweakers as I like to call them, who can blow your stuff up if not taken care of in time, digger zombies who dig to the other side and wreak havoc if you're not prepared, and pogo zombies who jump over your plants. I love it. At least I finally had an opportunity for a trophy here. 4-5's minigame was Vase Breaker, where you break vases that contain plants and zombies, and during the third stage, they drop hypno shrooms and dancer zombies, so I used a shroom on a dancer and earned. Disco is undead. Hypnotize a dancing zombie. Oh, okay. I'll be seeing Vase Breaker again later on, and it won't be as easy. But after finishing the last level, it was time to move on to the final stage, the roof levels. Because we're on the roof, we can't plant anything, so I'm forced to use flower pots, but the roof is also slanted, so pea shooters aren't as effective either, so now I'm given catapult plants, including my favorite plant, the melon pole. I was also given this watering can, which gives me access to the Zen garden. This is where you can grow plants for extra money, but there's a problem. Plants will randomly drop throughout levels, and to earn the trophy Enlightened, I'll need to collect every single plant, which will require tons of RNG, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. Going back to the levels though, Crazy Dave lets me know that I'm going to hate the final minigame. It spams bungee zombies and only gives me chompers and cherry bombs to defend myself. Even here, I didn't like this level, but I didn't realize how much I'd hate it later. We're also introduced to Gargantuars, who are the toughest zombies, and after taking a certain amount of damage, they throw an imp that can mess me up further. But after beating the second to last level, I got this note. Oh, here we go. Homeowner, you have failed to submit to our rightful claim. Be advised that unless you comply, we will be forced to take extreme action. Please remit your home and brains to us forthwith. Sincerely, Edgar Zomboss. So it was time to finally face Dr. Zomboss. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous because I was never able to beat this when I was younger. It's pretty simple though. He'll place zombies down, and he'll get down to my level where he's vulnerable, and will create these ice or fireballs that I need to destroy with ice shrooms and jalapenos, otherwise it's over for that row. Not only that, but he does this. Okay. So, like, what is that? Honestly, younger me was absolute buns at this game because I made quick work of this fool and finished off adventure mode. How did I not beat this when I was younger, dude? He's done. I won. I did it. Let's go. How did I not beat this when I was younger? That wasn't even that bad. Home lawn security. That is adventure mode done for the first time. With adventure mode done, I unlocked a lot of new stuff. I unlocked Adventure Plus, which is a harder version of Adventure with an extra modifier I'll mention later, and Rest in Peace mode, which is new to Replanted. This is Adventure mode, but I only have one lawnmower, and if I fail, I have to restart the entire playthrough. I will need to complete this mode for the final rest trophy, but also without losing a lawnmower to earn life well lived. And regardless of whether I play Adventure Plus or Rest in Peace, I'll earn second life for beating Adventure mode again. We'll deal with Rest in Peace later because I wasn't close to ready for it. But in the meantime, I had a lot of other modes to deal with, and I started with the mini games. There are 20 of these to complete, with a few of them being tied to trophies, and the first one I did was Walnut Bowling, where I could earn the trophy Roll Some Heads by bowling over 5 zombies with 1 walnut. Oh, roll some heads, I hit 5 with 1 walnut, let's go. Next up was Zombotany, where the zombies have plants on their heads, and they actually work against my stuff. To combat this, you would normally use pumpkins and nuts to protect them, pause. But to get the trophy Walnut Attack, I can't use those. On my first run, I didn't know how to beat this, but I later came back with this strat where I used garlic to protect my sunflowers, put spikeweed, spike rocks, and potato vines in the middle, then put 3 Peters on the lanes with the flowers, and I was able to get it done. Alright, there we go. Walnut Attack. Speaking of spike rocks, these came from Dave's shop, and he sells multiple other plant upgrades, which I'll need to buy to earn the trophy Morticulturalist, which is for getting every plant in the game. Besides the trophies, the minigames were just fun, my favorite being Bejeweled, which is based on the Bejeweled games also made by PopCap. I really enjoy Bejeweled, so this mode was perfect for me, especially Bejeweled Twist. It was awesome to play Bejeweled here. Of course, it wasn't all good though. I mean, Portal Combat had moments like this. What the freak? Well, that sucks. Invisible, where the zombies are invincible, got scary at the end. So we're just not gonna give me anything to defend myself? This is terrible. They're not giving me anything. They're not. I lost this. I lost this because they're straight up not giving me anything to defend myself with. Okay, finally. Dude, what was that, man? And then there were others like Bobsled Bonanza that sucked, but overall, these were fun. I also got some other trophies like Explodinator for killing 10 zombies with 1 cherry bomb, and Ask Me About Mustache mode for activating Mustache mode. But going back to these challenge trophies, this next one sucked. To earn the trophy Sprawling, I had to complete Pogo Party without using Tall Nuts or Magnet Shrooms. Why is it called Pogo Party? That's why, and Tall Nuts and Magnet Shrooms counter these fools. I had no idea how to counter these dudes properly. They just kept jumping over my stuff and I couldn't do anything about it. And for some reason, my chat wanted me to use Blovers? Can't get rid of Pogos? Exactly, so why are y'all saying Blover? What is that supposed to do? But after a bunch of experimenting, I eventually landed on putting the sunflowers in the front, squishing any morons that come through so that I could save up for Melonpolt, who could kill them before they got too far, and adding snow peas to the front to slow them down. I didn't think this would work, but it did, and I got my trophy. Okay, there we go. Combination of y'all's strats. And we got the trophy Sprawling, let's go. Eventually, I made it to the final minigame, which was a rematch against Zomboss, which wasn't much harder, so after I smoked him, I got my trophy. Beyond the Grave. We aren't done yet though, there were still some challenge trophies left, and my next one was Soul Invictus, which required me to complete Last Stand with at least 2,000 sun remaining. Last Stand gives me 5,000 sun to start, and I have to defend against 5 waves. So I needed a selection that'd be good enough to survive all waves, but allows me to keep 2,000 sun by the end. So I went with this setup, where the Gloom Shrooms absolutely destroy the zombies, while the Garlic protects them, and I was easily able to get it done. We're looking pretty good though. Oh, we're done. Oh wait, but I didn't get the trophy, I was below 2,000. Oh. Well, we beat it at least, but the Garlics got wasted too much. Okay, this time, I was easily able to get it done. Good. Okay, that's the trophy. Soul Invictus. I still had 1 trophy left in the minigames, and that trophy is Shooting Star. This requires me to complete seeing stars before the first flag zombie shows up. To beat the minigame, I must place star fruits in every marked area, and to get the trophy, I need to be done before this message pops up and a flag zombie walks in. This was easier said than done. The strat is to stall the zombies for as long as possible while I build up sun to afford the fruits. At the start, I was using walnuts and placing starfruit whenever I could, since walnuts aren't going to kill zombies, but this didn't work, I wasn't getting sun fast enough. Next, I instead used potato mines to kill the zombies while I placed tons of sunflowers, and eventually would get enough for the starfruits. But I didn't account for the cooldown on placing duplicates. So although I had enough sun, I didn't have enough time to wait for cooldowns. But that gave me an idea. Dave sells a plant called the Imitator, which allows you to take a duplicate of a plant and it has its own cooldown. The only problem is that I needed 10,000 more coins, and that would take ages to get. So I resorted to a farming strategy. With this setup, I earned so many coins, and Replanted has a speed up feature, making this insanely efficient. This has to be the best change this port made. Once I had enough money, I bought the Imitator and imitated the starfruit, and I easily got the trophy. Yeah, we did it. Almost. And there we go! That's all we needed! We just needed the Imitator. Let's go! Shooting Star! With the minigames officially done, I decided to tackle my second playthrough next. I decided against doing Rest in Peace here, so let's talk about Adventure Plus. As I said earlier, this is harder than regular Adventure, but it also has that modifier I mentioned. Crazy Dave chooses 3 plants for me to use, and I can't change those, nor do I get extra slots to make up for it. Crazy Dave may be goated, but I don't like this gimmick. But anyway, since this is just another playthrough, I won't put you through the whole thing, but I decided to use this to get the remaining miscellaneous trophies, starting with the trophy Good Morning, which requires me to beat a day level only using mushrooms. I didn't mention this earlier, but since mushrooms sleep during the day, I needed to use coffee beans to wake them up. This makes them cost an extra 75 sun, so the start is a little concerning since I couldn't build up sun properly, but thankfully, I did this on the first level, so it wasn't too bad, and I was eventually able to pull it off. Alright, well, that's a super easy trophy done. Good morning. Following that, I went for the trophy Pyromaniac, which requires me to beat a level only using explosive plants. This one was a little nerve-wracking due to the long cooldowns, but overall, it went smoothly. Okay, there we go. Got a little close. Does that count? Yeah, it does. Pyromaniac. After that, I took a little break to work on the Zen Garden and other stuff. I did a lot of coin farming, allowed me to buy the rest of Dave's stock, so I earned Morticulturalist. Alright, that is every plant in the game. Let's go. I also got tons of plants for the garden, and eventually bought the mushroom and aquarium gardens and the Tree of Wisdom. Every time I feed this tree, it gives some advice on the game, hence why it's called the Tree of Wisdom. To get the trophy Towering Wisdom, I needed to grow this tree all the way to 100 feet, so we'll check back later. But let's get back to Adventure Plus, where I reached the night levels and had the opportunity for another trophy. For the trophy No Fungus Among Us, I needed to be a night level without using mushrooms. Remember, sun doesn't drop here, which is why the mushrooms were so cheap. But now, I had to deal with the expensive plants. This was tough since the sunflowers take way too long to give sun, so I couldn't deal with the zombies in time. It also doesn't help to do stupid stuff like this. No, he does eat it. That was a stupid idea. I don't know why I thought he was just gonna walk over it. I eventually figured out a strat though. I would purposely let the zombies trigger the lawnmowers to buy me more time, keep using potato mines and walnuts to stall further, so I could eventually plant kernel pulse. Kernel pulse will sometimes throw butter, freezing the zombie in place and giving me more time to eventually get pea shooters to help them out. Finally, I was fully set up and was able to earn the trophy. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That did not end up being too bad. Let's go. No Fungus Among Us. Nice, dude. Next up was Don't Pee in the Pool, which required me to beat a pool level without using pea shooters. This trophy is nothing, I just replaced them with catapults and cattails. And there we go, Don't Pee in the Pool. The next trophy isn't a challenge, it just wanted me to find the Yeti zombie. He's guaranteed to appear on 4-10, so after some time, I found him. Oh, the crypto zombologist. The Yeti zombie's right there. Let's go. The final challenge trophy is Grounded, which requires me to beat a roof level without using catapults. This one was fairly easy since the first level gives you 5 columns of pots, which is perfect since pea shooters can only hit the zombies from the 4th and 5th columns. So I just planted the pea shooters there, later replaced the regular peas with repeaters, and used jalapenos if they were getting too close, and eventually got it. Okay, this trophy is really easy. Didn't even need anything special really. Rounded. The final trophy I went for was Popcorn Party, which required me to kill 2 Gargantuars in one level with cob cannons. Here's how my first attempt went. Oh, that's how. It just didn't kill him, okay. That's unfortunate. There. Well, it didn't die to the cob cannon. Oh well. Alright, this time I knew what I was doing. Good. So he just needs to take a few hits, and then I'll be able to finish him off with it. Like, right there. Got it! Popcorn Party! And now I was back at Zomboss, so I made quick work of him, and finished my second playthrough. Alright, second playthrough is done. Second Life. With the second playthrough done, I decided to try out the puzzle mode next. This consists of 2 modes, iZombie and Vase Breaker. I needed to beat all 9 levels for both of these modes for their respective trophies, and we'll start with Vase Breaker. The main differences between this and 4-5 are that there's only one wave, and the plant and zombie selections vary between the levels. I had fun with these, despite barely knowing what I was doing, and some levels got pretty wild. Oh my gosh! I could not use any of that. What the f- So yeah, there's not too much to talk about here, so here's the end. Okay, good. Smashing. Now there was iZombie. This mode has you playing as the zombies, and the goal is to eat the brains behind the plants. Like the plants, the zombies cost sun, which is obtained by eating sunflowers. This mode requires a lot of strategy. I mean, the whole game does, but this especially. You need to know what each zombie does, what they're weak to, and how much damage they can take while not wasting your sun. Again, I had a lot of fun figuring out strategies and sometimes just overpowering the plants, and I was able to get through these relatively quickly. However, I was stumped on the last one. So you have lots of insta-kill plants, magnet shrooms and split peas that can mess up digger zombies, and other great plants for defense and offense. It took me a minute and a few plant position changes to finally get started, but I finally got confident with the diggers, and once they did their work, the rest of the level was easy, and I got my trophy. Okay, that took a minute. It took a few restarts. It's interesting that it changes the strat. It changes the army every time. That's what saved me. I win. That's not the end for the puzzle modes, as I unlocked an endless version of these, and I needed to reach wave 15 in Vasebreaker and wave 10 in iZombie. I knew this was going to be stressful, so I decided not to do it just yet. So instead, let's shift to another Replanted exclusive mode, Cloudy Day. Cloudy Day consists of 12 levels, and the gimmick is that throughout the level, it switches between a cloudy but sunny day and a dark, rainy day. But here's the catch. Your sunflowers sleep during the rainy time and give you less sun during the day. Because of this, plant costs are cut in half and cooldowns are reduced. Before we continue, you remember how there was no dynamic music? Well, today, I noticed this. They finally brought back dynamic music. There we go. They finally did it. Yeah, it sucks this wasn't there from the beginning, but at least they're listening to the criticism. But going back to Cloudy Day, the lack of sun was really noticeable. As the levels continued, the more dangerous zombies would pop up at the worst times, or not even dangerous zombies, just zombies going on lanes with no defense, or simply too many zombies at once and there was nothing I could do about it. By level 6, things were really going downhill. And then you're taking so long! What is that, bruh? This mode is trash, bro. This mode sucks. Oh, I love that. To give myself more time to gather sun, I started using potato mines to get rid of the early zombies. This definitely helped out, but things still got bad later on. No, I can't do anything about that zombie! Oh my gosh, bro. This time, I added spike weeds to deal with the zombonis, and things went much smoother. All I have to say about this next level is, screw dolphin zombies. No, we don't like you. No. Oh my gosh, I was not paying attention. Can we chill? In general, the pool levels were easily the hardest ones with all the zombonis, dolphins, and bobsleds, but of course, I pushed through it and made it to the final set on the roof. I continued the potato mine strat, and once I was set up, these got really easy. Now don't get me wrong, there were some problems, but compared to the pool levels especially, these felt easy. Gargantuars had me worried, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle, which brings us to the final level where I wasn't happy about what I was seeing. Last one. What the freak is happening? Turns out it wasn't that bad though, so here's the end of Cloudy Day. I don't care. I don't care about that. What does a squash do? Let's go! Okay. Nice! We're done. Cloud cover. That got stressful at times, man. That was not easy. I'm glad I figured out that strat though. And I did it by myself without using any guides. Before we move on to the next goal, let's check up on the tree. Okay, let's buy all the tree stuff. 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100. Towering Wisdom. Nice, dude. Alright, it's time for the Endless Vasebreaker and iZombie. We'll start with Vasebreaker, and these are the hardest versions of the modes. Almost the entire lawn is filled with vases, and the worst possible zombies are spawning. And of course, there's no way to tell what's in the vases unless you get a plant turn, which reveals things in a 3x3 radius. Not knowing what will pop out makes it harder to prepare, and leads to moments like this. So there's a Gargantuar in every single one, I guess. Dude, I think I missed. I was trying to press the packet and it didn't let me. And then I went on a bit of a losing streak. If he didn't have to throw that, bro. If he didn't throw that, that would have been fine. Oh, and that would be what happens. Yep, put the bucket head there, of all the places. I love it. Dude, and then there's a bucket head up there. What is this mode, bruh? With each attempt, I was learning a bit more. I was starting to realize there's no rush. I can let zombies die before breaking more vases, and knowing that eventually led to my PB, and I almost lost it. My gosh, I think that's it. Oh wait, no. Y'all are gonna need to get rid of that. Now. Oh my gosh, that was close. It's okay though. I made it to a 7 streak, so as long as I didn't get screwed over, I was good. Yeah, he's definitely in here. Will I be able to do enough damage? I mean, I got the squash off. I don't know. Nope. Nope. There goes my streak. There goes my streak. Just end it. Just end it. Oh my gosh. What was I supposed to do, bro? That was enough for that day. I came back the next day with some new knowledge. I found it was better to always prioritize the far right, not to waste the green vases that are guaranteed to drop plants, always break vases where I have the advantage, and be ready with squashes for gargantuars. Despite knowing this, it still took a few attempts to get somewhere, but I eventually found myself back at a 7 streak. Let's hope I don't mess it up. Okay, that was close. That was close. That was too close, but I kept going. The next 2 waves were chill, but on the 10 streak, this happens. Even worse. What? That's 2 of them. 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 Very unnecessary, and it made things more stressful, but we made it to a 12 streak. Surely nothing would go wrong here. Oh my gosh! No! No, bro! I couldn't do anything, bro! Dude! Oh my gosh, man! What was I supposed to do? Well, since that went so badly, I tried iZombie instead. Endless iZombie is the epitome of RNG. The plant selection is always different and can either be easy to deal with, okay to deal with, or just flat out annoying. The plants I had to watch out for the most are 3-peter and starfruit since they hit multiple lanes, magnet shroom since it counters digger zombies, and kernel pulp because they seem to throw butter way more here than normally. To be real, this was terrible. I won't deny that some of these fails were avoidable. I was too trigger happy sometimes and wasted zombies or didn't pay attention to what was there, but I never got past the 4 streak. I liked the 9 levels before these, but trying to get these streaks with so much RNG, it just wasn't for me, and after a while, I was done. The next day, I gave Vasebreaker another shot. This time, I fully knew what I was doing. I wasn't spamming vases, I was trying to anticipate where stuff could be, not wasting the plant vases, just anything I could do to get this done, and it was working. I was consistently getting far and found myself at an 11 streak, but I wasn't paying attention. What the I didn't... The next attempt, I reached my PB, but RNG screwed me over. Gargantuar is gonna be in the worst spot. Oh my gosh, again, bro, again. Oh, they're always in the worst spots of all time, bro. I hate it. Okay, I reached my PB again. Surely this time will be good. I was locked in. I did not want to fail this. But early on, I had a close call. Yo, what was that? Why did he take so many hits? To 1 repeater usually dies like somewhere over here. It doesn't end there though, because this happened. I just lost again. I just lost again. I just lost again, I think. Never mind. Never mind, I thought I lost. I thought I lost that. After that close call, this had to be the run. All the Gargantuars are dead. I think this is finally it. I think I did it. Yes! China shop! Never again, bro. Never again. Never again. I'm out of here. That took so freaking long, bro. Oh my gosh. That was genuinely so annoying. I'm sure there are people who like that mode. I'm not one of them. It's not for me. With Vasebreaker done, now I just needed to do iZombie. To be honest, I really didn't have a strat for this. Since I could get any plant combo, it was hard to prepare for this. I would literally sit here for minutes just thinking about what to do. I was able to reach a 5 streak, spent like 20 minutes thinking about what to do, and when I finally figured something out, this happened. He died to... Alright, well, I lost the run. I lost the run because I completely just did not think of that at all. Now I don't have enough to actually get this to work. I did all that work for nothing because I've made stupid decisions. And the game just kept giving me the worst combos. But on one run, I got this combo. This is so new, what the heck? This is the easiest one so far. I could just put diggers everywhere. And the scary shrooms can't even do anything even if they wanted to. Okay, wow. That run ended up being pretty good. I managed to reach a 7 streak, but unfortunately, I didn't have that much sun, and the next level didn't help me out, so that went down the drain. But the next run started amazingly. I got 2 levels in a row where I could stock up on sun, so I got to the 5th level with 3,000. This made the next 2 levels pretty smooth, but that's not the craziest part. I got it again! I got it again! Yo, what are the odds, bruh? This was my best run yet, but on the second to last level, there were so many pea shooters. This one took a while to figure out, despite having so much sun. I couldn't make a stupid decision because who knows what would be in the next level. But eventually, I dropped a ladder zombie and a football zombie, which didn't go as planned, but it still worked out in the end, bringing me to the final level, which was full of insta-kill plants. This wasn't that bad though. After using a few pole vaulters, cone heads, and a dancer, I finally put iZombie to rest. I think I have this. I think I finally got it. I have more than enough. Oh my gosh, I finally did it. This and Vasebreaker are some of the hardest trophies I've ever gone for, bro. Finally. Better off dead. I don't know what to say at this point. These were both insane. I'm just glad to be done. I even got a new plant for the Zen Garden, so that was cool. But now there was one more mode before Rest in Peace, and that's Survival. Similar to Last Stand, this requires me to survive multiple waves of zombies, but instead of being given sun at the start, I play normally and can change my army after each wave. Before I actually got to it, I decided to get the trophy Sunny Days, which requires me to earn 8,000 sun in one level. To do this, I just spammed sunflowers and twin sunflowers while defending with pea shooters, nuts, and insta-kills, and eventually got it. There we go, Sunny Days. This trophy is so stupid. Now it was time to play normally, starting with the easy survivals. I mean, just as it says, these were easy, especially the pool and fog levels, since I could just use overpowered cattails. So after completing these, I moved on to the hard versions, which add an extra flag to each wave and have harder zombies. There isn't much to mention about these, but they did get crazy at times, and I mean that. I hate Gargantuars, bro. I hate Gargantuars. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. But I never failed or anything, so after about 2 hours, I finished the last one, and since I beat every mode in the game, I earned the Gold Sunflower Trophy. A Nobel Peace Prize! We got the Gold Sunflower Trophy. That's 100% basically. Oh, a new milestone too. Oh, 410. But that's not the end of survival. Like the puzzle modes, there's an endless version, and I needed to survive 40 waves of this for the trophy Alive and Planting. I'm not gonna pretend like I had a strat in mind. I found this insane strat and got to it. To start, I had to build up sun while starting to build up the main army. Once I had a good amount of sun, I started replacing some of the sunflowers with offense and putting pumpkins on everything because they'd need protection pretty badly later on. Things were going good so far, but at the 15th flag, they started spawning Giga Gargantuars who have double the health of normal Gargs. These guys are really scary, but that's why I had a Cob Cannon. We continued through with relative ease, although the Spike Rocks were getting expensive to replace, since the upgrade plant's cost increased by 50 after each use here, but we eventually made it to wave 20, which earned me a trophy. Oh, Immortal! Okay, we got the 20 wave trophy, nice. We were looking good for multiple waves. I messed up twice by not paying attention to the diggers, and the Giga Gargs were a little crazy, but we were fine as long as I didn't make a bad mistake. Except I did that. Someone in my chat recommended adding Cob Cannons to the back areas to help with the Garg spam. I knew I'd lose some firepower against the regular zombies, but anything to deal with the Gargs, right? I didn't record my reaction, but we didn't take this into account. That little change almost cost us, and things got very dangerous. But I made it out alive, so I just needed some time to recover. Eventually, I made it to the final 2 waves, which of course contained Giga Guards. This came down to the wire. I can't replace that. I can't replace that. Of course he ate that. He got... Really? Really? He got that? Okay. Oh my gosh. Whoo, wow. That was terrible. That got so close. Oh my gosh. Alive and planting. Jeez, bro. That actually had my heart racing, dude. With survival done, it was finally time for rest in peace mode. Remember, this is adventure mode, but I only have 1 lawnmower, and if I die once, I have to restart the entire playthrough. And I can't even lose that lawnmower if I want to earn the trophy Life Well Lived. So without further ado, let's get into it. Normally, I speed up the game, but in this high-risk mode, I played slowly at the start, then sped up when I knew I was good. But the first few levels are really easy. Then I got to Walnut Bowling, and this got dangerously close. Spawn these faster, please. I'm about to lose rest in peace to Walnut Bowling. Oh wait, I actually did lose. I actually did lose. Wait, I actually lost. Okay, if we do mess up, at least it's at the beginning. Like, we're barely 20 minutes in. I didn't want to waste that, but he's too close. Okay, well, that was terrible. That was the closest we got in the day levels, so after about 30 minutes, I made it to the night levels. These were also fine. The minigame here was Whack a Zombie, which I slowed down to be safe, but this was way smoother than Walnut Bowling, and the rest of the stage was chill too. In between this, I was also grinding up the Zen Garden, which was very grindy. I mean, it took me 2 hours just to get the repeater, but hopefully we could make this the last trophy. Moving on to the pool levels, these were almost free. Remember, I knew about cattails at this point. Once I could place at least 2 or 3 of these, the level would become so easy. So I used the exact same strategy for every level, only adding spike weeds in case Zomboni spawn, and I breezed through this as well. The minigame had me slightly concerned because they wouldn't give me many offensive plants at first, but I made it through that as well. So as we move into the fog levels, I'm sure you can tell what this mode really is. It's just testing your knowledge, making sure you know what plants are best for each situation, especially without having access to lawnmowers. Since I had already played for over 40 hours by this point, I pretty much had this down. Although these weren't completely smooth, a digger popped out too early on 4-6 and messed me up a bit, and there were other levels where dangerous zombies came in early, but we made it through, and now it was finally time for the roof levels. No more cattails, so it wasn't free, but I had an idea. You know how throughout the game, I would use potato mines to stall while I gathered sun? That was the main strat here. Gather as much sun as possible while blowing up any zombies, and place melon pulse since they do the most damage, and turn them into winter melons whenever I could. However, on 5-2, I had a huge scare. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. How is he surviving all that? My gosh, what is that? I should have kept the potato mine, bro. That was easily the scariest moment so far, but my next one was on 5-5, the final minigame. If you recall, I said I'd hate this later, and that's very true. The reason this level sucks is that chompers take over 40 seconds to chew a zombie, and the game doesn't always give you what you need in the moment. In the back of my mind, I knew I could save scum if I was about to fail. I wasn't planning on using this for any level except this one because I just don't find it fair and I'd hate to lose on an unfair level, and unfortunately, I had to use it. No, I don't care. Get me out of here, bro. No, don't care. Genuinely, screw this level. I wouldn't get to another scary bit until the Gargs showed up, but I knew how to deal with them and their imps, so eventually, we found ourselves at the final level. All I needed to do was focus up, and we'd be good. Bungees. Cool. Okay, we've done it. We've done it. We've done it. Could not say a word during that. Final rest. The other trophy didn't pop. I didn't lose a lawnmower, bro. I didn't lose a lawnmower. I didn't lose a lawnmower. I love it, bro. I love it. Doesn't matter that I beat rib mode, I have to do it again. That was genuinely heartbreaking. You're probably wondering, why didn't it pop? Well, it's because of the worst bug I've encountered in Replanted. While I was grinding out my Zen garden, I ended up losing a lawnmower on Walnut Bowling. This shouldn't matter, but for some reason, losing a lawnmower in Adventure counts as losing a mower in Rest in Peace. I don't know how or why, but hopefully by the time you watch this, they fixed it. There's no point in pouting about it though. All I could do was start up another run. But I wasn't about to do that now. I wanted to get a trophy, so I decided to grind out my final plant for the Zen garden. I saved one plant for this since I planned on this being the final trophy, which was the kernel pole. I was gonna use level 5-9 to grind this out, but I managed to get it a little earlier. Oh, there it is. Enlightened. Okay, we got the cob cannon. Or cob kernel pole, whatever, dude. Yeah, you could tell I was still bummed about Rest in Peace. Speaking of which, it was time to return to it. To ensure the bug wouldn't happen again, I completed the first 2 levels, then failed the third, which fully resets it. I don't know why, but it works. I also decided to save scum the entire thing. I mean, I think it's perfectly valid. If I'm gonna do what the game asks and not get the trophy, then I have the full right to cheat to avoid wasting more time. And I'm not gonna waste your time by showing this whole playthrough since nothing special happened. But before we end the journey, let me give some final thoughts. This was a really fun platinum, despite all the annoying and tough trophies, and I'm happy to have fully experienced PvZ now. Quickly going over the controversy, I just didn't want to push it for the video. For me, I didn't experience nearly as many problems as others did. I can only name Rest in Peace obviously, and one soft lock. Yeah, it sucks they didn't bring back the old team, especially the artists, but I didn't let that spoil my enjoyment of the game because I just wanted to experience PvZ no matter which version I played. As of editing this video, Rest in Peace has been fixed and tons of other things as well, so honestly, I think this is the best way to play PvZ 1 now, especially if you only have modern consoles, but you decide if it's worth it, and let's try to be civil in the comments. But with that said, let's see if the game did what it was supposed to do. I don't know what to do if I don't get this trophy. Please give me the trophy. Life well lived. I should not have had to do another playthrough, but whatever. And the complete zombie. I didn't mean to press that. But we're done. Finally. Should not have taken this long to get the plat, but it is what it is, man. It took me 57 hours to get this platinum. I meant to wear this when I got the plat, but I completely forgot. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. If this video does well, I will be continuing Plants vs. Zombies with Garden Warfare, which is what I'm really excited for. I don't know if I'm gonna do both in one video or just do them one at a time, but we'll see when we get to that point. But anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.